We've gone through the non-playoff teams this season, and we're at the point of this draft board series where we're getting into the teams that made the playoffs. And the Buffalo Bills are the first team that we're covering that made the playoffs. The Buffalo Bills made the playoffs for the first time this millennium. They ended their playoff drought, but unfortunately fell to the Jaguars 10-3 in the wild card round. As you can see, the Bills, with their performance they had, I'm going to talk about that performance in just a second. As you can see on this draft board behind me, the Bills are picking back to back with pick number 21 and pick number 22. The Bills have their first round pick. They also own the Chiefs' first round pick after the Chiefs traded up with the Bills to draft Pat Mahomes in the first round last year. So let's get to this draft board. As you can see, there are three needs I see the Bills want to address with these two picks. Now with these two picks, they can get 2 out of 3 if they want to. But the first need I have for the Bills is a quarterback. And I have nothing against Tyrod Taylor. But the Bills, they need somebody at quarterback that can lead them to win big games. And Tyrod Taylor may have led the Bills to the playoffs, but they needed Andy Dalton to convert a fourth down against the Ravens late in the fourth quarter to make it to the playoffs. So the Bills need to get a quarterback, in my opinion, that can be a franchise quarterback. We've already talked about the big four in Sam Darnold, Josh Rosen, Baker Mayfield, and Josh Allen. But we've also addressed, could Lamar Jackson be available by the time it's the Bills' turn? Because we addressed the Lamar Jackson with the Cardinals, if he could still be available. But I think if I were the Bills GM, actually, I'm going to get to that at the end. Let's talk about wide receiver. That's their second biggest need. I know the Bills may have enough quantity of wide receivers, but they need a quality one. Zay Jones, he may just have been a rookie, but he wasn't. I feel like he kind of underperformed in a way. And Kelvin Benjamin, who they traded for at the trade deadline, I think he underperformed as well. And Jordan Matthews, who they traded in the preseason, he underperformed. So the Bills need a wide receiver that will meet up to their potential. And it leads me into this third thing, a cornerback. They have Javius White, who could be a cornerback on the rise. But they also need somebody to pair up with him. Because the Bills, they traded Ronald Darby to the Eagles in August. And they also let Stephon Gilmore go to New England. So the Bills need another cornerback. And with picks number 21 and pick number 22, they could really get 2 out of these 3. But let me tell you what I'd do if I was the Bills GM. If I was the Bills GM, these are the 3 needs that I'd be looking at. You need a franchise quarterback. You need a quality wide receiver. And you need a cornerback to complement Tre'Davious White, who could evolve into a top corner in this league. What I would do is I would take the pick at 21, go either a corner or go with a wide receiver. Although I did forget to mention, quarterbacks that could be available, pick number 21. I don't know if Mason Rudolph, if it'd be too early to go with Mason Rudolph or Luke Falk. Wide receivers, James Washington, Oklahoma State, Christian Kirk, Texas A&M. Those 2 wide receivers could still be on the board at 21. It depends on what happens ahead of the Bills, of course. We still got the combine to worry about and free agency to worry about. And then a cornerback. I would say with pick number 21, go either a wide receiver or a cornerback. And then take the 22nd pick and try to trade down, maybe later in that first round, or maybe try to trade early in the second round. Actually, let me rewind that for just a second. Take pick number 21, go with a wide receiver or a corner. But with pick number 22, try to trade with one of the teams later in this first round after the Bills. Like maybe try trading with the Falcons or maybe the Saints or even the Vikings. This 22nd pick. And then try to throw in get him to try to throw in an additional second round pick. That would be an ideal move if I were the Bills GM. Because the Bills could maybe pull this off. I honestly see the Bills maybe trying to trade this 22nd pick because is it really ideal to draft back to back? Maybe not necessarily. At least if they're going to draft back to back, at least try to make offers for this 22nd pick. Because I think maybe teams like the Falcons, who have a history of trading up in the draft, they might be able to listen. The Vikings might be able to listen. The Saints might be able to listen. So if I were the Bills GM, take the 21st pick, go with wide receiver corner, try to trade that 22nd pick for a later position in that first round and see if you can get an extra second rounder thrown into the deal. That would be ideal. So we'll see what happens with the Bills do. But it would be a smart thing for the Bills if they were to try to trade this 22nd pick. They could also maybe try to trade the 21st to trade up a couple of positions. But I think it'd be much more ideal to trade pick number 22 to try to get an additional second rounder as part of a deal with teams toward the back of the first round, like the Falcons, Vikings, or the Saints.